lovelies, welcome to Wellington Witch once again. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you guys for all the love and support you've shown me over the last few weeks. It really does make my day whenever I see you commenting, sharing, and just basically engaging with my channel. I really do appreciate every single one of you who've done that. Thank you so much. So, in the spirit of love and giving back, and also because this is the last day of Mercury retrograde in 2020, the first Mercury retrograde of 2020, I thought we'd do a little bit of a checkup on what is next in love. Now, this is a timeless reading, so it doesn't matter if you look at this in December or whenever you choose to view this reading, just kind of connect within yourself and it will be a message for that particular time. I'm very much a believer of you see things when you need to. With that in mind, these three cards are going to be able to, I have no idea what these cards are, so I am completely in the dark as to what's going to come through. I do know that there's different levels of cards, different amounts, because they told me which pile they wanted to be in. So without further ado, let's see. The first pile is Open Your Heart, which is pretty good for a next in love reading. The next card is Be Your Best Self Always. And the third card is Amplify Your Positive Emotions. So as I say, this is for any day, whenever you come across this reading. And what I'm going to do is go into a 60-second meditation, just for you to kind of connect within these cards if you haven't made up your mind already, just to see kind of which particular card draws you to which pile. So I'll go on to that in just a minute. Obviously I'll start with group one, but again, this is a general reading. It will encompass every single thing that comes to me for various different people who choose the piles. If it's a private and personal specific reading you would like about either love or anything else, all the information is in the description box as to how to get one from me on my website. In the meantime, I love you and leave you for the meditation, and I'll get started as soon as we get into group one. Hello group 2 lovelies. So you would have chosen this particular card, Be Your Best Self Always. This is a very interesting card, mainly because it's reminding you that there is something within you that's very, very focused, very, very important, and I also feel like it's asking you to raise your vibration. Sorry, camera had a little bit of a wobble there. But it is asking you to raise your vibration. It's asking you to get to a positive place. 6, which is this particular number, is all about growth and understanding that even though you may be in a bit of a funk right now, there is a part of you that is, it belongs to nobody else. There's a part of you that is very unique. It's very focused on being and reaching levels that you're still yet to meet. You're always evolving and you're always going to be growing, I suppose. But what this card means is just try and always focus on the positive aspects of yourself rather than the negative aspects of yourself. So let's get into your cards. Okay, so the first one is Passion and the second one is upside down. release your ex. Interesting, because there was a similar message in the first one. So then we have a comfort for your angel message. For your psychic message, you have temptation and foundation and achievements. And for your Druid Tarot, you have, whoopsie daisy, 5 of Swords and the Lovers. Okay. Let me just have a see. Okay. Also, if you hear purrs, it's my cat. She always comes in when I'm doing tarot. So, the main focus that I'm getting from this one is that there is love here. There is a lot of love. So what's next is releasing any negativity or bad vibrations that is around you, either from your ex relationships, where you feel like you may still be harboring some sort of harm or some kind of emotional upheaval from that. Maybe some bad habits. Maybe you're very distrustful of people because of experiences that you've had. Again, sorry if it's wobbling. My cat decides to do the tripod here. What it feels like is there may still be an ex around you. Now, this isn't for everybody. Like I say, if you are coupled, it feels like there's something. It could be their ex, or it could be something that's just kind of not here as much. But what I need to do is just tell you to release somebody that you keep focusing on in the back of your mind. Now, maybe you're going about things that I'll prove to them that I'm fine. I'll prove to them that I'm this, or, you know, I can do without them. Why not prove it to yourself? Don't bother focusing on them. Don't bother trying to do it for their benefit. What about your benefit? You know, what would, you know, they may see you. Let me just close that slightly. They may see you on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, you know, looking into, you know, oh, look, she's out and about, or oh, look, he's doing this and he's got this promotion or whatever. It doesn't matter. They won't send you a message automatically. A majority of them won't go, oh, it's nice to see that you're actually succeeding without me. They won't do that. What you need to do is confirm to yourself that you're absolutely growing and you're absolutely finding the right direction. As far as I can see, there's 2 sides here. Like, there's release your ex, there's 5 of Swords, there's temptation. And then we have the passion, the lovers, foundation and achievements. So you have a bad card, really, or a negativity card, and a positive card in each set here, which is really interesting because I do feel that there's a balance. You could be dealing with a Libra or a Gemini, or there's some aspects of their chart around, but it's very interesting to me to pick up this pattern because, again, looking at the title of this video, what is next in love? What is next in love is that you need to release anything from the past that still has its ropes around your ankles. What you need to do is take out the splinters that may still be in your, you know, heart or your mind or your emotions from what's gone on. You need to remove that. And in, you know, betterment of yourself, in progress with yourself, what you need to do is allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean go out and have one night stands all over the place. Absolutely not. But it does mean to find things that you love, find things that you enjoy. Allow yourself to imagine this amazing experience for yourself, and then feeling yourself completed, then inviting somebody else into your life to share your happiness, to share your completedness with. You know, it's almost like, you know, people say, oh, it's my other half. You should be 2 wholes, two solid, functional, complete people that come together and absolutely enrich each other's lives, not complete it. And I think that's kind of where you've maybe slipped up in the past. So again, temptation. There may have been some temptation to dive into arguments, temptation to be negative. There could have been some battles between you, some arguments. This is definitely to do with some form of ex here, and it just feels like there's you're growing away from that now. I mean, it could be that you have decided to get back with your ex, and in those rare instances, I will say that you look like you have some very positive connections coming in here. But as a whole, I'm thinking it's probably not a wise idea to entertain the past by getting back with an ex-lover or an ex-partner. What the angel card is telling you It's saying, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So any issues that you've had, any emotional upheaval, anything that you have hurt by, or you see the ex maybe with another person and you're like, oh, I feel that thorn there, I feel it digging in. That's gotta hurt, I understand that. But it also means that there's a very strong connection of you healing, because allow yourself to feel joy. You have got love coming in stacks here, and I feel like this is going to be a very firm, solid, committed relationship. Firm, solid commitment. Mainly because this is going to be something that is a strong foundation, but it's also something that feels like you have learnt to not bury your demons, but put them to one side. Forget them. Don't feed them. You're not feeding them by thinking, I'll show them, or continuously going back to them. Why are they with somebody else? Or why did they never see this about me? Why did they never see that about me? Why did they never pay me a compliment? Why did they never do this? Because they weren't the right person for you. It doesn't mean that you didn't have those qualities. It doesn't mean that you weren't owed a compliment. It doesn't mean that you weren't deserving of love. It's just that they weren't able to give it to you because they weren't the right person. And that's kind of what they're saying to let go of. The Five of Swords is about somebody showing off, wanting to dominate, wanting to basically have conflict and tension. And that is something that you do not need. The Lovers here is very much a card of encouragement. Is saying that, again, it's a Gemini card, so it could be a Gemini here, but it does feel like you feeling very content within yourself. It's about regaining, not just, oh, it's a Lovers card, yay. It's about actually finding something within yourself that you feel you maybe lost along the way. We do that an awful lot. I've just started painting again after 15 years. So it could be as simple as that, finding something that you enjoy, finding something that you thought was just a childhood thing, but something that gives you some kind of pleasure or accomplishment or a feeling of connection within yourself. It could even feel like, you know what, I am beautiful, look at my eyes. I don't need anybody else to compliment them. I know they're gorgeous. That kind of thing. It's something that you don't need other people's validation. And I think that's something that's coming in. You are your best self always, so you don't need that. And I think through that, you're actually going to draw in the right types of people for you. I also feel like this is what's next in love. You are going to find somebody, but it is definitely finding yourself first. It's kind of reacquainting yourself with who you are, reacquainting yourself with some kind of joy, and just laughing because it just feels like you're like, hey, I'm here, kind of like a Lizzo song. It's just something that really does feel like I am unapologetically me. I am not going to give any, disclaimer about who I am. I am just me, and that leads you to passion, that leads you to regaining yourself and love. That's foundation, your achievements. You actually feel like you can raise yourself to draw in somebody worthy of you, and that is very, very good connection coming in here. You feel worthy, and so you bring in somebody worthy of you as well. It's great. I honestly believe this is a very powerful time. The next few times you should start working on your energy, honestly, because I do see you deserve it. You truly, truly deserve it. I'm sorry if it's going a little bit dark because it's England. I'm currently doing this in March, but it's just grey all day. But it just feels like there's something that you're definitely bringing in. You're bringing in the right partner. You're bringing in the right understanding from this person as well. So honestly, I see you committing to yourself and connecting with yourself, and this is actually going to bring you much higher than your ex's vibration, than anything else. There's no qualms about it. Well, I hope this was helpful to you. Do let me know in the comments below if this worked out for you, and if you'd like a private reading, all the information is down below in the description box. But thanks very much for watching. I'm now going to go into group 3. Okay, all the beautifuls who chose group 1, this is your reading for what is next in love. If need be, I will draw some clarifiers, but ultimately it will be just kind of what comes forwards. So we start off with open your heart. If you were drawn to this, There's a sense of peace here. There's a sense of need for safety. I feel like it's kind of asking you to go within a little bit just to see if there's any way that you would like to open your heart to others. Doesn't even need to be in a romantic way necessarily. It's just something that may feel like you're coming to a certain point of your life where you feel ready to open up again. I would also say that there could be some kind of feeling that, you know, you want to open your heart to the possibility of love, or you want to open your heart to the possibility of something else. So with this card, I'm just going to pop it over here. Sorry if I knock the tripod slightly. It is a very dodgy thing at the moment. So the first cards we come to are the romance cards. You have attraction, finances and career. Your angel card is chakra clearing. Your psychic card. Okay, some reason I thought this was going to come out. Wisdom and conflict and defeat. And your druid cards are all upside down. You have the King of Wands, the Eight of Cups, the Two of Cups, and you have the World, which is really interesting. So let's see what's coming to light here. I might move some of these across. This cloth is a bit catchy today. Okay, let's see. Alright. Already I'm feeling that there's an education coming in here. Now this isn't to say that you need an education. This is just that you are very wise and you're very seasoned when it comes to matters of the heart. Now some of you may go, what? No, I'm not. Well, you are. I think even if you consciously don't recognize it, there is something in your subconscious that's telling you, I think from your previous lives, let me just clarify, I think from your previous lives, that there's some kind of situations where you already know what's going to happen. In your heart of hearts, you already know the essence of consideration of yourself and, you know, how you can connect with others on a very strong basis. Now with your, I'll just do these first. With your romance cards, you know, attraction, finances, and career, I do see you being very focused on building your wisdom in general. So it could be that you're a very career oriented person, you're very independent, and you want to, you know, be very focused, and you want to have this connection to your inner self more than anything else. This kind of reminds me of I don't know whether anybody knows astrology, but it's the Aries North Node, where you're trying to come into yourself and be yourself as an individual in a relationship. But because you are yourself, you therefore attract romantic love by enjoying a moment fully. It's about being present in the moment, not just focusing on the next step of your career. For some of you, this may feel like a call out. I think the natural next step is to do with finding time to appreciate the mini moments that you're having at the moment. So it's like, I can't go out to dinner with you right now. I have to focus on the report that needs to be in for 9 a.m. Okay, that's fine. It's a responsibility that you've agreed to, but don't just think about no for the now. Think about, okay, how can I enjoy a connection with another person? Could I have a conversation with them, if not dinner? You know, it's just something that I think you can make allowances for your own pleasure. That's what they're kind of asking you to do. I think it's kind of, you may be focused on career, and you may be somebody, you may be at your work. But what's coming next in love, they're telling you to just kind of focus on the moment. The moments are going to make a lot more, trying to like gravitas in your life. The moments are going to mean more than anything else in love. The little things that you do in order to accentuate this pleasurable experience of life, that is going to mean more. That is going to be very important. And I feel that when all said and done, there's going to be a connection, because you have the Two of Cups here. You have a connection that's going to really encourage you to kind of open your heart, to kind of not just be all business or career, which is very difficult because especially if you're a Scorpio, if you happen to be a Scorpio or even an Earth sign watching this, sometimes we're very much about business. We don't need nobody else, that kind of thing. We're always focused business, love's for losers, blah, blah, blah. There could be an energy of that for some of you watching this. And, you know, I have been guilty of it myself. It's the protection of your inner self. It's the protection. I don't want to get hurt. I don't want to get distracted. I don't want to get pulled to one side. I don't want to get destroyed by my emotions. That's a fair assessment. I understand how that can feel. And I just think that what they're trying to say to you is that maybe you've gone within. You've gone within because of some kind of conflict in previous relationships. This is where the wisdom comes from. You've gone inside yourself, where others may be going one way, you're going within instead. And you've still got that light there, you've still got that hope there, at least I hope you do. And what they're saying is to use that wisdom that you have to know when it's safe and how much you can give to somebody else at a time. It's not saying close yourself off completely. So what's next for you feels like this ability to gradually open up and let people see. And just, even if it's like a little slither at a time, that's all it needs to be. Just a little bit given, a little bit here and a little bit there. That's all you really need in order to connect to somebody else gradually. And again, you seem to be attracting somebody because of who you are, how you are. Your work ethic may be something to do with it, but ultimately I feel like it's just appreciating you, definitely for who you are completely. What is interesting for me as well is the Eight of Cups. So maybe there's something, because conflict and defeat, maybe there's something that you have decided or will decide to put to rest. So it could be to do with this fire sign person. You've decided to put them to one side. You're not focused on them so much anymore. For some of you, it is this type of person coming in. It is the fire sign coming in. Some of you, it's them going out. Or, it's kind of nurturing and connection with them. So it's either or. And do let me know in the comments below which one it is for you, if you did pick this one. But it just feels like there's somebody who's coming out of your life. And it don't necessarily mean that the fire sign either is a male. It's just, this is just the embodiment of the card. It's a very visionary, entrepreneurial, in control person who can sometimes not know where they are. They can lose interest very quickly. They can go from project to project. They can, and similarly in love. So if you're holding on to them when they want to go, it could be a sense that you need to let them go now. If you have, but I want the connection. It could be time for you to say sayonara to them. But again, that's more specifically. I feel like some of you who are going to meet this person, don't be too scared, because I think that this would be a higher ranking because you've attracted them by who you are. And again, this is kind of like the end of a cycle. This could be that you meet them abroad. It could be that you have to go abroad or take a little mini trip just to kind of reignite something that's already existing within your relationship. But I do feel that the spontaneity of this travel is a Sagittarius element to it. It's ooh, let's go over here, ooh, shiny, ooh, this. It's exploring something, but I do feel that even with the world here, something is ending. A cycle is ending. It could be the cycle of your inner, what do you call it? Trying to find the best word for it. It could be that you're trying to stop yourself going into a cycle of habit, like a cycle of, I keep answering the phone, I keep answering this, I keep doing this. It's kind of like a song that I heard the other day. I think it was Paloma Faith, and she was saying, something about, I know my own worst enemy. Why do I keep doing this to myself? I should know better. It's kind of like that, and I feel some of you may be in the habit, very small percent, some of you may be going back a lot to somebody who is quite endearing, quite open, somebody who is very, charismatic, particularly charismatic. But if not, this is somebody that you're going to meet, and I don't think it's going to be the same scenario as to what I've just described, because it'll be different circumstances. But I do feel that this person could be from abroad, and or they've just taken a trip. For those of you who are currently partnered, I think they're asking you to take a trip, to do something, to either commemorate something or just to kind of end a cycle that, or maybe habit that you've actually gone into recently, because that seems to be something that's coming up for me here. I also feel like with this one, if I can get it. With this one, call upon me to clear and open your chakras using sacred geometric shapes. Whether you want geometric shapes or not, I feel like this is saying to you, clear yourself of your own expectations, clear yourself of your own habits, anything that is lingering, get rid of. It's a perfect time, because I think 2020 in particular is a very difficult year in some respects, but it's delivering a lot of interesting planetary alignments and very intriguing connections that are coming up here. So ultimately, I feel as though there's quite a lot of generosity, but also there's a standing up as to who you are as an individual as well as how you are coupled. And I think that your influences and your focus on finances, career are not going to be as strong, even though you are going to still be connecting on that level and still focused on it. There's going to be a need for you at some point in your life, maybe this year, maybe next month, to just open up and, and maybe entertain the idea that there's something out there, something more, something deeper that you can have a look at. Now, for those of you who are already coupled, it could be just to reignite something. For those of you who are single or, just broken up with somebody, it could be to release the old patterns, the old people that you try and attract, or, the type that you have. But ultimately, I'm feeling something that you say, you know what, I want that kind of love. You know what, I admit, I want to be in a relationship. I want that particular kind of love, like something that you see on TV, and like there's an old couple and they love each other so much still after so many years of marriage, and you're like, I want to be like that. Yeah, I want to be like that. But the key to this is, and I'm sure you won't do this, the key to it is not to rush out immediately and find any person who is remotely compatible and then presume that it's going to end up like that. Because you will attract, if that's the kind of love you want, that you've seen on television or that you've seen in life and reflecting, like I want my grandparents type of relationship or something. If you see that and you go, you know what, yeah, I kind of want that. That's you kind of opening up and preparing and readying yourself for it. And I think even if you are with somebody, it's leveling up into that stage of, yeah, I'd like to emulate that. I'd like to have my own version of that. I'd like to emulate a very strong partnership like that. And I do think that this is very important for you guys. Well, I hope this helped you. I do think you're going to be very, very connected very soon with certain aspects, but do let me know in the comments below if this made sense, and I hope to speak to you guys very, very soon. Take care. I'm just going to move on to number 2. Okay, group 3, welcome to your reading. So this will be the card you chose or were drawn to. Amplify your positive emotions. Maybe a little bit hard for you to do, especially if you find yourself in a slightly uncomfortable place emotionally, or if there's something going on around you, or especially actually what's coming up is an empath. Maybe you are a Cancer, or you have some kind of watery affiliation in your chart. So let's have a look. Ooh, upside down, your romance cards are worth waiting for and past life relationship. Wow. Okay. This is courage. Okay, your angel message. I'm already getting something for you guys here. And then you have your psychic advice cards as memories of love, partnerships and alliances. So far, you are the best ones. And then upside down again, you have Page of Pentacles, 9 of Wands and 6 of Pentacles. Okay, let's put those there. All right. Let me just take a moment or two and just to get all the messages that I've got coming through for you. Okay. So some of you may have been single for quite a while. Some of you may have been healing from a previous relationship. That's why you're kind of hoping to amplify your positive emotions, which can be very hard. Other times I feel you pick up on a lot of other things that people are trying to do. You know, things on people don't say. They don't say what they mean sometimes, and that's kind of what you're picking up on. You're picking up on the reading between the lines, I think, is what I'm trying to say. What I've got here is asking you to have courage to dive into something that seems very strong. So the courage one is the anchor of this entire reading. The courage card is incredibly prominent here. And I do apologise if it's a bit dark. It is middle of the day, 12 noon, but we do have incredible storm clouds at the moment in England, so that's why. Be courageous, stand up for your beliefs, I feel is the anchor of this particular reading, because there is a very strong connection coming in for you. There is a very defined, raw, almost overwhelming connection. I mean, you may have been single for a while, you may have been eternally single. And honestly, I'm sorry for anyone who's coupled who has chosen this one. I honestly feel this is for people who are single. So this feels like there's definitely some kind of karma coming in here. You have known each other before. Divine timing is definitely at work here, because again, I feel like I'm not diving into another relationship or a relationship because I'm just don't feeling ready. You may not have anybody in your local vicinity who is connecting to you or interesting to you, or, you know, anybody who in your community who is into the same stuff. I think that there's something here that you're drawing in somebody who does have a past life connection with you. Maybe you were together before, maybe there was, you know, something that you just kind of missed one another in the previous life. But I do feel that they're coming in. I feel like it's got something to do with giving back, giving money, giving something about debts being repaid, but not literal money debts being repaid. It's them paying you a debt because of a favour they owe you. You may have never met this person at all in your life, but this is something from the previous life that's coming in here. And what they're saying is it's persistence, there's a movement, there's definite connection coming in here for you. I do see there's things coming to fruition through your teamwork, through your perseverance, through your persistence, and actually resisting the temptation just to jump into anything because it's a relationship. You know, you're not just going to go, oh, well, I'm lonely, I'm just going to suddenly jump into bed with whatever's the closest to me, because there's something that you're not going to get from that, and you know that you're not going to get from that. I think for some of you, if maybe 90% of you, you can't disassociate sex from romance. It's kind of like, you know, your body has needs, fine, whatever, but it's not the way that you're actually going about it. What you're doing here is seeking an actual partnership. And memories of love, you know, it could be very familiar to you. The energies that you have could be drawing in, could be very familiar. And then partnerships and alliances is you, again, there's a debt being repaid here. There's a contract agreement coming through. So I would say that this is something that you've, you know, like people say, oh, if you're still single when we're 40, let's marry. You know, that kind of thing, but from a past life. So the next life, I will find you and we will give this another go, and we'll see if we can overcome the challenges that we had previously and ignore the faults or the failings that we had, or work on them, even better, work on them, so we can actually reach a very strong and committed conclusion where we're able then to progress and perceive our ultimate, you know, romance and our ultimate thing. But the thing is, with such a connection, with such a potential connection, you know, like, oh, this is very strong, it may be a bit intimidating. It could be something that is, it could be something that you're like, whoa, hold on a second, I don't know whether I'm prepared for this, which is kind of what you've been waiting for, though. It's you've been biding your time, you've been waiting, you've been working on yourself, or if you haven't, now's the time to start. Now is definitely the time to start working on yourself. and kind of reaffirming the fact that you have your connection, you are strong in your emotions, in yourself, in your individuality, in your personality, so you're not going to get overshadowed, and you're not going to go yes sir, no sir, when this other person comes in. No matter what gender they are, by the way. It's just a kind of, yes, okay, yes, I'll do whatever you say. It's not going to be good enough. That won't actually help the partnership. What I see here is very much a message that's practical. There's methodical kind of research going in. There's something that you're working on very much. But this again is the debt giving back. This is growth. This is discovery of what you're good at, and maybe being very giving. There could be something that you're both very drawn to, like a cause, or something that you both feel very passionately about, and that's what actually draws you together. But I do think that you are working on something in each other's life that is necessary for both of your progressions here. It feels like if there has been any stages where you've never been sure about things, or you're a bit curious as to what's going on, and why have I never met the right person? Those are the wrong questions to ask. I think it's just mostly the question to ask is, how can I raise my vibration? How can I connect with myself and get to such a high degree that I can actually find peace and happiness within myself, and then I can share it with this other person. But again, I do feel very intimidating energy, and they'll feel it as well, but I do think the way that you both go about it will be slightly different than each other. You have to meet each other in the middle. But I do see that there's still some things that you may be harbouring from previous relationships within yourself. Even if you don't really have a serious relationship in your past, it's something that feels like any crush that you've had, any family relationship that you feel like you've disappointed or been unfulfilled by, that's also something coming in here. Ultimately, I feel like amplify your positive emotions as well as courage is very much a case of connecting with your inner self here. What they're asking you to do is amplify that good vibration, amplify the good deeds, like the focus that you have, like I want to do this, and everything will fall into place around you. It's kind of like what I say is, if you focus on doing what you need to do and you think, well, I need this and this and this and this and this in order to get this, just focus on doing the end goal, and everything else will fall into place for you if you manifest that. So it's something that feels like you can do it step by step, or you can ask, please, can I just have the strength to do this? Can I have the health, the energy, this to fulfill myself and actually go forwards in such a way? You're going to surpass your expectations. And honestly, I get a really good vibe from these cards. It's something that is, I actually want to draw an archetype card for you. I haven't done it in the previous two because I didn't feel called to do it. But with this one, I want to know the kind of relationships that you may have been to each other before. So the archetype cards that I've got are here, and I'm going to have to shuffle off camera, I'm afraid, because of this tripod being too wobbly. So what was the incarnation? What's the relationship then previously? Okay, I feel like that was you and the two here for them. Okay. So you were a bully kind of thing here. Highlights your tendency to intimidate others. Helps you confront your inner fears that bully you. I'm not actually thinking that was before. I just think that this was the intimidational energy of, like I said, there's a very intimidating energy of these cards, of this relationship. So what I feel is that you need to avoid this. Don't fall into this of deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. I don't think you're going to do that. I don't see this happening, but it's just the fear overwhelming the tenacity to actually stand up to anything that may be intimidating. So this was you, as far as I know. No, sorry, this was him or her, and this is you. And I feel like this wasn't kind of complicated connection. So revels in intimate union with the divine, and then the Queen's light attributes, which radiates the regal feminine, uses benevolent authority to protect others. Again, revels, radiates. There was a very good connection. I think it was a working relationship, but it does feel like control was something here. There was something like the perception of relationship between the divine for the mystic and the people for the queen. So there was something that definitely came into play that may have actually split apart here. But the archetype is very much that you may have been better served than this person. You could have even been this combination yourself. A queen who delved into the mystic, who actually looked into potential causes, and you've brought that over into this life. So you don't want just any old court jester, right? You want somebody who's very connected, very integral, and has a very strong personality. But this, I feel, was the intimidation that I've got here. It's like a whoa, like a tidal wave of emotion when you meet this person. So I do feel this is next in love. I feel this impact is going to be incredibly strong. And you may have already met them, which is why you're actually watching this reading and have chosen this. You may have already met them. So I feel like this is just kind of an update to say, yes, they are from a past life. And you've got your work to do. You've got work to do. And I feel like what the cards are asking you to do is definitely connect within yourself and your inner power so you can rise to meet the strength whenever it calls for it, you know. Whenever you feel like, oh, you know, I don't know whether I can be myself around this person because they're just overwhelming. Amplify your positive. Don't ignore the negative for now. Accept that it's there, but go, no, I am strong enough. I am worthy. I am me, you know. Oh, there's a lot to unpack there, but I hope this helped you. Do let me know in the comments below how things worked out, and if you'd like a private or specific reading about somebody, let me know. The description box is where you can order one. But thank you very much for taking the time and spending it with me today. I'm wishing you all the very best of luck in the world, and I'll speak to you guys very, very soon.